Welcome back to the Grand Solar Minimum channel. Today is March 5th, 2018.
You just talk and I'll go fix it.
Wanted to do a quick update. Got a couple things. That's all right. We'll just go from there. I'll use the banner here in a second.
I can fix it in a bit.
All right. Sorry about that, folks. Had a little technical difficulties there.
That's my fault, Jake.
Want to start off first with the space weather report real fast. This is our daily update, live update, the joys of live. Solar wind speed is sitting right around 380 kilometers per second. The density right around 9. Quiet today, no geomagnetic storms. We have a development here on the eastern limb of the sun. It hasn't been officially numbered. I'm going to check SPACEWEATHER.com anyway here in a second. And then we have no activity today from proton flux. All is quiet. KP indices at 1 and 0 most of the day. And looking at our SDO, there's the area of concern as far as sunspot goes. Go ahead and put this in motion. As we see the northern coronal hole spilling down close to the equatorial region, not quite, but we have one right around the equatorial region that is opening up as well. Forecasters are predicting some solar wind stream from that on the 8th of March. But we continue to watch the eastern limb of the sun. Lots of activity here popping up, and I can't contain myself here. I do apologize, but I wanted to get to a report that was just posted onto SPACEWEATHER.com. It's about galactic cosmic rays, and I found it interesting. They did state that they were going to give us an update when they had the numbers in. It says here on SPACEWEATHER.com, and by the way, they're not naming or numbering that sunspot region yet, so we're still 2 days spotless. But the worsening cosmic ray situation. Cosmic rays are bad, and they're getting worse. That's the conclusion of a new paper, and the link is in the article, just published in the Research Space Weather. The authors, led by Professor Nathan Schwandern of the University of New Hampshire, show that radiation from deep space is dangerous and intensifying faster than previously predicted. This goes into the beginning of the research for this group. I'll let you guys read the details, but I thought that was alarming to see that the report on the galactic cosmic rays is accelerating faster than they predicted. And I remember the last report they gave on this was a little high as well. So it says here, back in 2014, the professor working on this used a leading model of solar activity to predict how bad cosmic rays will become during the next solar minimum, now expected in 2019 and 2020. Our previous work suggested a 20% increase dose rates from one solar minimum to the next. In fact, now we see that actual dose rate observed by Crater in the last 4 years exceeded the predictions by 10%, showing that the radiation environment is worsening even more rapidly than we expected. In this plot, bright green data points to show the recent excess. So there, the solid line is what they predicted here, the purple line, and then the highlighted neon green light, that is the actual reading of cosmic rays in flux. So thankfully, SPACEWEATHER.com, the original article about their beginning of covering cosmic rays is at the bottom here, where it talks about cosmic rays in the atmosphere. And this was the first time they started talking about it, and they announced their project. So I'm glad to see that SPACEWEATHER.com has followed up on this and continue to do the research. But when you look at this graph, and it shows you the graph lines here, of prediction and Dalton numbers here, we do see that the prediction, this guy anyway, has got this minimum going into 2020 and so forth, is more of a what was that? Not the Maunder, but like a Dalton minimum. So the prediction is a Dalton minimum, and this blue line is showing that it's going to be not as bad as a Dalton. So interesting how they come up with that prediction, in my opinion, because this paper here is verifying that things are happening at a much faster rate and a lot more than they predicted. And so to me, this just increases the global cooling process, accelerates it faster than I think anyone's predicted. So we'll continue to monitor this story. We'll continue to monitor their work. Again, I do appreciate SPACEWEATHER.com coming through and showing us the data, especially the research that's really important right now. Because a lot of people are asking about, well, you know, if we're in a solar minimum and we're having less sunspots, why are these storms so much stronger? And the answer to that is it's not simple. It's complex. There's many ingredients that go into this answer. But the one reason why we are seeing the increased amount of rain, flooding, snow, not just inches but feet of snow, is the rate of cosmic rays that enter our atmosphere and they seed our clouds, interact with the particles already that are in play, and that's where you get your rain bombs. That's where you get your you know, the bombogenesis, where we see the, like Harvey for instance, 60 inches of rain. A lot of that had to do with this system sitting over one spot over a long period of time, but also a lot of it had to do with the amount of cosmic rays that we receive and how much they play. They actually do contribute to our climate as far as the amount of precipitation. And you know, again, this is just work that is further going to help confirm, you know, what we talk about here on this channel. And this is where we, you know, pull our data from, as far as when people ask for proof about, you know, the so-called situation with cosmic rays. I've never seen SPACEWEATHER.com steer me in the wrong direction, and so I'm going to continue to rely on these guys. They've always had the most accurate numbers, most accurate reports out of all the websites that I can go to online. And I wanted to check out, see if we had any new TSI numbers, and I don't see it right this second here. So every once in a while they kind of fall behind on updating this site. I don't always get, and it looks like yesterday's reading was the last site that we got up. Okay, so anyway, Mari, you had something that you wanted to bring up.
Yeah, I wanted to show a little slideshow because we're going into weather, aren't we, Jake? This is just sad for me to see. A devastating drop in sea temperatures during Storm Emma, the beast from the east, killed thousands of marine animals. What you're seeing here, washed up on the UK coast. Tens of thousands of crabs, starfish, mussels, lobsters just died from the huge temperature drop from this storm. It shocked mass marine animals. Animal deaths have been reported along the coast of Yorkshire, Norfolk, and Kent. So I'm going to let this play just for a minute so you guys can take a look at this.
Now this is the storm that was responsible for all the drifts that were snowing people in. Is this the same Emma?
This is from Emma.
Okay. Yeah, I was looking in the chat, and Bonnie Blue 2A says that Earth's magnetosphere thinning makes the Earth more susceptible to incoming cosmic rays. Does it not? Yes, it does. I think I think what people were surprised with on this report with cosmic rays was that they didn't expect the amount to be as high as it's come back. And again, all the details are in the article. So, but I think that's just, to me, that's like the most important part to this grand solar minimum, aside from the TSI, is cosmic rays and the amount that we do receive, and you know the reason why we see these rain bombs, these large amounts of rain, these large amounts of snow in one period of time. That's why. So checking out, see if there's any other questions in here. Good to see everybody here. Thanks for tuning in tonight. All right.
We're going to pull up the website again there for you, Jake.
Thank you very much. That slideshow, this is kind of where I'm going into. You're showing about marine life here. Watchers.news just put up this article not too long ago. Record-breaking cold temperatures hit Europe just before the start of 2018 meteorological spring. It claimed the lives of at least 50 people and is also responsible for severe agricultural damage. While the full extent of the damage won't be clear for quite some time, severe damage is already evident, and some food prices have already gone up. So this is talking about where prices increased. Farmers are raising prices because of the damaged crops. You know, we're not making this up. And when you start seeing these reports, not just from here in the U.S., I mean, you can only imagine the crop loss that we've had. Yeah, here's France. But it's coming in all over Europe.
I got to share, we had a viewer who shared an almond tree that was just coated in ice in California.
Yeah, California.
There was recently an article about how California almond orchards are suffering.
These are done. You don't come back from this. Wow. So we're not even into spring. Crops are getting ruined already in Europe. I expect more of that here in the U.S. just because of all of the snow, the rain, the up and down temperatures that we're seeing, and which leads me into our last look at our weather. I wanted to take a look here, try something different today. I went on windy.com. We'll start right about now, dinner time. You see Riley's still hanging out in the northern Atlantic. But our next system, Quinn, is monstrous, covering much of Canada and the upper northern plains. Move it out to Tuesday, we start to see rain in the Tennessee Valley, move through the south. Into Wednesday, that's when we start to see the rain exit the south and the snow enter the northeast coastal regions. Now, the spots that didn't get that got all the coastal flooding is now looking at getting the most of the snow this time around. Places like western Pennsylvania, western New York, and Ohio, you know, we're not in so much play for any kind of snow. Now, they are calling for a little bit of lake effect snow, I've noticed in some of the reports locally, and then this model doesn't really represent it very well, but I have seen GF's models that are showing, and actually as we are going into Thursday, we're seeing a little bit of lake effect action right here. So Thursday going into Friday, that's where western New York and northwestern Pennsylvania will see some light accumulations. They're calling anywhere from 3 to 6 inches. I know the Buffalo metro area is looking at 1 to 4, so nothing too serious this time around, but hopefully this is a sign of things to kind of quiet down, as this forecast here gives us more rain in the southeast. But like I said in a previous broadcast, definitely going to have to watch the west coast, as around the 11th and the 12th they will get a few low pressure systems that will come across the west coast, and it's looking like it's going to get quiet throughout the majority of the country from March 10th on out, except for this area here near the Gulf of Mexico. But folks, we're on the 14th of March, and this couldn't be more wanted than ever right now. Folks are going to get a chance to dry out, maybe get some cleanup from the severe storms down in the south. The Northwest and West, you guys have been getting a lot of moisture, snow. Now looks like rain as well. So I guess that's how it works here. The yin and the yang. It's their turn on the Northwest. Hopefully we get a little bit more of this beyond the 14th of March, as I know there's plenty of work to do right now with tons of infrastructure everywhere, anywhere from frozen pipes to exploded pipes to down power lines, landscape that needs done, trees down, power lines down. I mean, you name it. There's about every kind of work going on right now in this country. So, you know, honestly, when you hear about the economy doing well, I bet a lot of it, a large percentage of it, has got to be in the labor force and the insurance business as well. All right, guys, that's going to do it for us tonight. Want to make one more announcement. We are going to be on a radio program on Wednesday night. It's regionxradio.com. Mari has left a link in the description. So it will be 10 o'clock Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Pacific. But we will probably post a link to the radio station itself. And then after broadcast, we could always re-upload it later. That way, folks that can't get to the radio station at the time. It is later. It's a West Coast show. So we're on the East Coast. But from 10 o'clock, I'm not sure how long it's going to be. But we're excited about getting a chance to talk to those folks. And they want to know about the grand solar minimum and the cycles and the difference between, you know, a grand solar minimum and just a solar minimum. So this is a great chance for us to help spread the word and help educate folks out there who are seeking answers about what's going on. And what a perfect opportunity for Mari and I. I'm excited about it. So, all right, guys, that's going to do it for us tonight. Please like and share. We'll talk soon, guys.